Why does everyone want to sell you electrolytes?
We'll get back to talking to Alex in 1 minute, but first I need to tell you about Element.
Element is an electrolyte drink.
The fastest growing sports drink in
Gatorade. Is it in you?
No, Michael, it's not. But how do electrolytes actually affect athletic performance? To test this for myself, I decided not to consume a single electrolyte for a 24-hour period and compare my training output to a typical session. I then synthesized all of the latest research to back up my findings using actual science. This is the lift where I took electrolytes prior. You can see my force output located on screen and my rate of perceived exertion right below it. Your body is made primarily of water, which means that there's already trace amounts of electrolytes in almost every cell in your body. They help regulate chemical reactions and maintain homogeneity between fluids inside and outside of your cells. The most important part of the word electrolyte comes in its prefix, electro. Without an electrolyte, any pure water consumed has no electrical charge and therefore can't force muscular contraction. Electrolytes themselves are ions that move freely in solutions like blood and water. They are made of chemical compounds that naturally hold positive or negative charges, such as sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, and bicarbonate, with the latter three not occurring in most electrolyte stacks because they aren't lost that much in sweat. Your typical electrolyte supplement might have 500 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 100 to 250 milligrams of potassium, and 25 to 50 milligrams of magnesium. According to this new study done by Lindsay Baker in 2020 on the electrolyte composition of sweat, we can see that the primary electrolyte lost in sweat is sodium. Sweat is quite literally a sodium chloride solution with low stable levels of potassium and magnesium. Thus, the more sodium-heavy electrolyte brands aim to act as almost sweat protection in high temperature and high exertion environments. Even though they are essential, bicarbonate, phosphate, and calcium aren't found in most electrolyte supplements as they're lost during high exertion exercise and sweat is almost negligible. However, bicarbonate has gained recent popularity.
Last bit of bicarb down the hatch. So second thoughts, just like eating a fart.
And has begun being used in certain athletic fields such as track, for its ability to buffer hydrogen ions and acidic buildup in the muscle, allowing for a better contraction and limiting fatigue. A packet-like element with 1,000 milligrams of sodium becomes extremely necessary during long endurance-based workouts, such as an ultramarathon or a long bike ride, because you need sodium mid-workout. Unlike both of those, a lift is different. You do not need electrolytes mid-workout, and you don't really need electrolytes prior either. And so to make the effects of not having them prior more severe for myself, I'm going to dry myself out in the sauna. Electrolytes go hand in hand with force output and production levels within athletic training. This meta-analysis by Olga Lopez-Torres and partners found that maintaining high and stable levels of intramuscular glycogen during prolonged or high-intensity exercise is crucial not only for performance but also post-workout recovery. This is important because when you get dehydrated due to low electrolyte levels, it's primarily a loss of intracellular water due to sweat. You lose water and sodium when you sweat, and if those aren't replenished, you simply lose water weight. For each gram of glycogen stored in the muscle, there's 3 grams of water. And so, low electrolyte levels become a cause of non-stable intramuscular glycogen, resulting in poor performance and poor recovery. I lied. To be able to consume 0 total electrolytes in a day, I wouldn't be able to consume the proper calories needed not to make them a limiting factor in my lift. And so I consumed about 550 milligrams of sodium, 190 milligrams of potassium, and 15 milligrams of magnesium. And then I hit the sauna. During a 25-minute sauna session at 195 degrees, I lost 2 pounds of sweat, or about 0.91 liters of sweat. And using a 2017 Lindsay Baker study that estimates the amount of sodium, potassium, and magnesium lost in sweat, I can estimate that I lost about 837 milligrams of sodium and 195 milligrams of potassium, with a negligible amount of magnesium lost, bringing my net total for electrolytes for the day below baseline. And to offset the 2 pounds of sweat I lost during the sauna session, I consumed 2 pounds of water afterwards. I'm net zero. So what does this mean for me? Well, because I did a sauna session prior to this workout and didn't consume proper electrolytes, it means I'm coming in lower in intramuscular glycogen and water levels. I'll have to rely on stored electrolytes within my system and bog them down even further with water I consume post-sauna. My muscle cells simply won't be able to fire at my typical output, and I won't be able to recover properly in between sets, resulting in a further denigration of my overall performance. After doing my first 3 sets of glycogen curls, I already feel pretty tight, I'm not gonna lie. And my strength output is down from yesterday, but I don't know, other than that I feel pretty good. I slept good, I ate good today, so we'll see how it keeps going. What if I did continue drinking water? Would that even help? This study from 2004 suggests that the more water you drink without sodium, the more your body spits that water out through the form of urination. Your body quite literally needs electrolytes to hold on to water. Furthermore, you could dilute your blood sodium levels, as the total amount of sodium would now have to extend itself over a greater total amount of water. This could cause low energy, fatigue, headaches, and slightly worse endurance and strength in more severe cases. This being said, most of the time you're better off drinking water if available, even if you don't have access to electrolytes, because the symptoms only begin to appear at the extremes. I just finished my 3rd set of pull-ups after doing belt squat as well. I'm feeling a lot more systemic fatigue, even though I did just all-time PR on pull-ups with a pause at the bottom, so that was really good. But I'm feeling a lot more systemic fatigue. My muscles feel a lot tighter. They especially felt that on the belt squat, which was significantly less than yesterday because I was trying to work on my eccentric, but I'm definitely feeling it. I feel a lot more fatigue right now. I don't know if it's just placebo, but there's more of like a mental block. So then, should you take electrolytes prior to a workout? Well, maybe. This study found that while many times athletes diagnose themselves as being sodium deficient, they aren't. Athletes already consume more sodium than the typical individual because athletes who burn more calories eat more food and eat often more food with excess sodium. However, electrolyte supplementation is more nuanced than this. It should be taken on a day-to-day basis and should reflect the output you predict to occur on a given day. If you are taking a rest day and you don't plan on moving around, taking an element might not be beneficial to you. But if you're planning on going for a long run, taking electrolytes before, during, and after would definitely help. If you're sweating a lot, take more electrolytes. Your goal should be to maintain homeostasis. So if you haven't moved around all day and you're thinking about eating that burger with 2 grams of sodium, it's not going to help you. When you overconsume electrolytes and fluids in hopes of achieving better performance, you end up doing the opposite, especially if it's done very quickly. You put excess stress on your kidneys and get that puffy and bloated feeling. You might feel slower. Your neurons begin firing at a slower rate due to blood dilution, reducing reaction time and the feeling of aggressiveness that some lifters and athletes look for. So in short, how did lifting dehydrated affect my output? My lifts changed this much? This is how long each workout took, and this is what I would rate each workout. I just finished my workout, and I definitely do feel a little bit more dehydrated, fatigued, and tired than I normally would after a workout. But what's important is that I still produced good output on certain lifts. Even though I didn't take electrolytes today, which is not normal for me, I still produced properly. And that just goes to show that even if everything isn't perfect, if your mentality is there and you're expecting and hoping to PR, you still can. Electrolytes are incredibly important, and they are a balancing act. Finding what works for you in accordance with your schedule and your budget can truly help you maximize your performance in the gym, on the track, or on the field. But placing too much emphasis on any given thing can create mental blocks. The negative placebo effect of I didn't get my electrolytes in, this workout is going to suck, only affects you as much as you let it. All of the studies I cited are in the description of this video.